My name is Lisa Rodriguez-Watson, and I'm the National Director of Missio Alliance. Disruption has been for us something that has been so difficult. As we've experienced loss and pain, we've had to make a way forward in ways that we just haven't in the past. The church has been disrupted. We've all experienced disruptions in many forms as people, as churches, as communities, and organizations. And the Latin word for disruption, I think, is really helpful. Dis meaning apart, and romper meaning broken and shattered. And it has really felt like for the last few years that our lives have been broken apart and shattered. And our churches have experienced that disruption as well. And while it's been so painful and so hard, I actually think it's something that we've needed. The church has needed a season of exposure and disruption because of the unfaithfulness that has laid waste to the church in America. And so the disruption is actually a gift. And what we need is the renewal that comes after disruption. Disruption always precedes renewal. And I think it can be so easy to get lost in the challenge and the pain and in the suffering of disruption and lose sight of the fact that there is hope on the other side, that something beautiful can emerge from what feels like shattered brokenness as we're experiencing and making our way through disruption. My hope is that we, as the church, particularly the church in America, navigate faithfully through this season of disruption, that we see and that we move towards what is hopeful, that we see that Jesus is beckoning and is inviting us into a more faithful witness that reflects the good news of his kingdom, not just for the people that are inside the walls of our communities, but more for the people that are on the outside wondering what to do in the midst of their own crises, where to go in the midst of the hardships that they're facing, in the midst of all of the injustices that we face in the context of North America. So my hope is that disruption disturbs us enough to make us uncomfortable with the way that things are so that we can more faithfully represent the good news of the kingdom of God. There's this really beautiful flower that I got to experience firsthand in the Denali Mountains a number of years ago. My friends that I was hiking with pointed out that a mountainside had been ravaged by fire. And what came up after the fire was this incredible purple flower called fireweed. Without the ravage of the fire on the mountainside, there would be no fireweed. And without disruption in the church, there is no renewal. And the thing about fireweed actually is that it's not the only thing that comes up. It is the herald that the forest is returning, that the birches that were burnt and the pines that were destroyed and the blueberry bushes that seemed like they were dead, they are going to be back. And I think that's the way that it is with disruption in the church, is that we have come through and are in a season of disruption and destruction, and fire is seemingly a horrible thing. But the forest is coming back. The bride of Christ is beautiful, and she is the hope of the world. And we long to see the church be a faithful witness in each and every community in America.